Peace and grand rising. Today is the year for the Lord's, 2024, October the 9th. I am Sovereign Living Justice, Pauline Denise Ritchie. My free chosen sovereign appellation is Light Tajiri Bay. All are in capitis diminutio nolo, in red ink, in proprio persona sum juris, in proprio solo, and in proprio heredes. We are capite et corpus juris legalis, which is our statement that we are the lawful and legal living natural head and body for our empire. This court action is the universal condemnation and redemptive Imminente Domainionne law. This is the creating of all land, all resources, and all commerce worldwide, earthwide, and specifically Florida, all adjoining islands, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, Virginia, Maryland, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Kentucky, and all others. As the waters cover the sea, the earth will now be filled with the knowledge and the glory of the Lord. That is Habakkuk 2:14. The word condemnation is the Article 3 legal process that we, the federal government, have taken to cause control of any and all property for use and enjoyment by the original indigenous, ancient sovereign people first, and then all others according to law. The government causes condemnation and redemptive Imminente Domainionne to take place when the property is without form and is void, unsafe, uninhabitable, such as bankrupt, underwater, not existing on the land, lost at sea, or offshore, or does not comply with ancient and current land use laws to include proper status or proper person. Our actions ensure safety and names the status and use for all property. Condemnation is the first in the redemptive action that is Imminente Domainionne. Imminente Domainionne is the government's right to create, restate, name, or take any property, private, public, or otherwise, for use by the ancient original indigenous people. To further our government, the legal process and the cause for action that is condemnation is as follows. And we will share our screen so that the process can be viewed by all. Just one moment here. Okay. Here is the process. There is a preliminary investigation, which we have done. This government has identified property that is unsafe. Our investigation determines the property to be condemned. Notification to the property's legal occupier, if there be any. Just one moment. That's number 2. The notice provides information about the stated condemnation, the reasons for the condemnation, and the occupier's rights, if any. If the property is abandoned, the condemnation and redemptive Imminente Domainionne process continues. The government, number 3, compensation. The government states fair and just compensation based on the property's value. This has taken into account real estate market conditions, the property's condition, its use, and proper legal tender amounts. Number 4, legal proceedings. Each action by the government is a legal proceeding. The government adds to the cause for action to justly further and complete the condemnation process. And whether the property is abandoned or whether it is occupied, the condemnation process still continues to take place. Number 5, valuation and compensation. This court evaluates the evidence to determine the fair market value of the property and appropriate compensation, if any. This evaluation considers the court's appraisals, expert opinions, and other relevant information at the discretion of the court. Compensation is in gold, silver, Moorish sovereign delarium gold receipts, and United States fiduciary money issued by this United States, who is a Moroccan empire, onshore and at land special purpose financial vehicle. Notification. This special purpose vehicle does not accept U.S. Federal Reserve debt notes of any kind. Therefore, there shall be no attempts to change, exchange, or do commerce using said debt notes. This United States is governed by all original indigenous, ancient Al-Moroccan, Moorish American nations, states, and governments in accordance with the laws as stated by this Holy Congress. Number 6, possession. Once compensation is determined, if any, the government redeems the property and takes possession of the property. The property's former legal occupant, if any, receives the awarded compensation. All offshore land, all offshore natural resources, and all offshore commerce defined as any obtained by U.S. Federal Reserve debt notes is hereby condemned because it is undersea, unsafe, and uninhabitable. The exodus by all offshore occupiers has begun and shall continue until none remain. This is also the removal of the dead corporate overlay that was enacted in the previous era. Our recovery laws include Dom Diversus, Romanus Pontifex, and In Her Catera Divina, all according to Chapter 2 of the Circle 7 Holy Quran for the Moorish Holy Temple for Science and the Biblios Heliotech at Yoel 2:25 and Isaiah 1:26, as well as Deuteronomy 8:18. This is the rise of the greatest, wealthiest, most luxurious estate that has ever been or will ever be. This is Shalom. Shalom means covering, recovery, redemption, and dominion. The nobility is encouraged to study the process for possession as we have stated hereby and activate, demonstrate, and possess your land according to your study and your will as led by your spirit within. We will to thank our ancient, all-knowing, original, indigenous, sovereign, living ancestors within for their guidance at these processes. We will to thank the Most High and Holy Congress, who are the Moroccan Empire's finest, most erudite holy ones, that is the Congress for the Moorish National Republic Federal Government and for the United States for America, who have manifested so beautifully these laws. The Congress is created by the unification of the Moorish National Republic Federal Government. Just one moment. As well as the Anansi Federation, the Anayuwia government, the Yamasee Nation, the Washita Domainionne Nation, the Manawatu Federal Government, the Squampomack Province Government, the Krypton Territory, Land of Tomorrow Government, the Galactic Federation at Texas Territory, the Hebrew Israelite Moors Earthwide, the Tatarian Yahudan Priesthood State, the Nation for Islam, the Moorish Science Temple of America, the Moorish Holy Temple for Science, the Earthwide Temple for the Moon and Sun, and all other ancient, original, indigenous, sovereign, well-organized states, nations, and governments earthwide. For all, we are grateful. We hereby autograph this law here in the presence of all who witness this presentment, and we stamp and seal it on this day according to law. And for this, we are grateful. Islam. Peace and great rising to all the nations as we continue our prosperous, ancient, original, into perpetuity rise. Peace.